Ambazonians in Connecticut. I want to say you are very welcome, Mr. Fokimben. We don't really know how to say thank you enough for one. I think you certainly must have taken some time off from your busy schedule, and you say no to it, to come here to listen to us why we have invited you. So I want to say thank you once more. So the reason why we invited you here is to find out from you how we can contribute our own share to the struggle, because we here in Connecticut, we have tried as much as possible to gather ourselves and see how to add to the struggle, but we are still young. We don't know how to begin, where to go to. So we watch some of your videos online on YouTube. So that's why we were interested in the work that you guys have done in Lower, which was very important. So we said it's good, we should invite you to come in, and then we share ideas so that we can know how to give our own little contribution to the struggle, to make the struggle go ahead. So we are now ready to listen to you, talk to us, and then we'll ask you questions, and then it will just be an interactive, some kind of interactive discussion, and then we'll know where to go to from there.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My name is Fru Kimbeng. I am an Ambazonian born in Tambeng, Mancon. I am really honored to meet brothers and sisters. All of us are touched with the struggle in our fatherland. When we see the images of our brothers and sisters, our children, friends, grandfathers being burned into houses, I don't think anyone would really hold his heart. It gives me an opportunity to come here, drive 2.5 hours to come here. Like all Ambazonians, we never expected this to happen. We are peace-loving, but war came and met us in our house. We are fighting to defend ourselves. And now in the foreign land, we are struggling and bringing ideas as to how we can contribute our own share to support our brothers and sisters who are paying with their lives back in Cameroon. I don't come here with a big title attached to my name. I come here just like an ordinary person who started doing this almost 20 years ago, not hoping that we will get into where we are. I have lost relatives. My junior brother's house was burnt at Mile 8 3 weeks ago. So it touches my heart to come here. So what the purpose of us here is to bring ideas, because we are in America, and when I observe the struggle from my own standpoint, from a child growing up, I used to see the white man come to Cameroon and use our own brothers to do their work. And me here in America, I ask myself, if I have to, when the white man comes to Mancon to go to the palace, how does he go and see the phone? The white man has to go to see the phone using through what we call Enchinda, the messenger. That basic knowledge makes me think that if we are here, we have to find a way to be able to form our network, build our network with the white people so that they can use us to introduce us to their own lawmakers. So we have done this in Lowell, and the world has seen the results. I would like to say that to be able to do that, you start from your neighborhood. Get involved. Your church, your city hall. If you don't know where the city hall is and you live in this neighborhood, make sure that you just go to the city hall and sit and listen to city council deliberations. Someone is watching you. Secondly, if you don't volunteer your services, go out and look for a non-profit, a charitable organization. Go and join them. You are learning something. Why are you doing this? You are building your own security. Because these people tend to know you when you get involved with them. So when they know you, when you are inside, you see how this country functions, and you learn, you build your own network, which is also your own security. I come in Mancon, we believe that you protect rain from afar. When nimbus clouds is black, you go and buy your umbrella. Don't wait until the rain starts falling before you go and buy an umbrella. Because when you join a non-profit organization and volunteer your time, when you go to City Hall and sit there, the councillors are seeing you. You are building your network. When you see, mostly now during election time, 2020 is coming. Don't wait for them to come to you. In your neighborhood, look at whoever is running for office. Republican, Independent, Democrat. Reach out, you have $10, write a $10 check to support. Once you write that $10 check to support a candidate, they will send you a thank you note and your name is in their record. They know your address. Tomorrow when you call them that you want to come and see them, what happens is they will, first of all, check if you are an active participant. That if you are involved in politics. By the way, what is politics? You scratch my back, I scratch your back. If you look at the longest serving Speaker of the House, Mr. Tip O'Neill from Massachusetts, wrote a book called Mr. Speaker. He said that all politics is local. And you don't need money. You just need how to be smart. Even most of us who are immigrants, and even from Cameroon, Ambazonia coming here, that is building your own network. Because tomorrow, if you go to City Hall and sit there, the chief of police is seeing you. The councillors are seeing you. And then, being this country, they want diversity. If there's anything that happens, they will say, who are you? You have been coming here. Where do you live? You see the people that you have already started connecting to. You know that this is the mayor, this is the city manager, this is the chief of police. This person works here. They start knowing you. Anything happens to you, those are your very first rescue. So by the same token, if we build incrementally like that, then you are sowing the seed. Don't run over to the mayor or city council and talk about Ambazonia. You have to build a relationship with them so that they know that you are serious. Because I see people, they will run during the campaign and go and put a microphone in front of a senator, in front of a candidate, and talk about Ambazonia. He is not listening to you. So, and I equally say that once you have built this groundwork, you can also organize functions. In organized function, you invite these Americans and our neighbors. So all this strategy goes a long way to lay the groundwork, for you, your community, and your children. Because whatever you are going, whatever is happening, we are in this community. Tomorrow you may need a job, but you go somewhere for an interview, someone will see that he saw you at the city hall. And also understand that once you serve in a non-profit organization, try also to become a board member. I, for one, I serve on 5 boards. The Lowell General, Lowell LTC, the Charter School, the Cameroonians of Lowell, the African Cultural Association, and the Lowell Police Board. So with this, you make yourself, you build your own security. Once you have established this, then when you call the mayor or the senator or even the councillor or even the police officer that you are scheduling a meeting to go and see him, he will know that you've done your homework. You've done your homework. That's the reason why in Lowell, when I organized a peaceful rally, the mayor of Lowell, the former mayor of Lowell, he's the one holding the Ambazonian flag. The commissioner of police, you see him there with the police escorting ours.
Let my people go. Let my people go. Go down to the young lake and tell Bia, let my people go.
And then in that light, you see that the white man is actually taking our cause. And any other white person who is watching, do you think that that white person will not ask what is going on? He certainly will ask what is going on. And by the same token, you have also planted yourself in this community, that you are not just a beneficiary, but you are also a benefactor, because you are contributing in the governance and learning how to run this community. So with all this, I will tell you one thing. The civil rights, all of us who have been in this country, the civil rights movement succeeded when the white people joined the black people, isn't it? And I bet you, when there was election in Cameroon, what happened? The governor of Cameroon brought white people to justify their election. Let's not fool ourselves. We know that when one will see the white man, we think that they don't tell lies. If the government can use them, then what more of you and I in America, you and I in Europe, you and I in China, in India. So wherever you are, make sure you invite the locals. That's the only way that we can use to bring our pain at the international level. Because if you look at my show, they are the white people who discuss Ambazonia. They watch the march in front of the White House. They say, Fru, you are in front of the American White House, but we are looking. There are no whites. What are you kidding? How can you be in America going in front of the White House? The white people are not supporting you. So whatever we do here, you will really see that every politics is local. Before you go and see a senator, before you go and see a congressperson, make sure that you have done your homework. And I would equally tell you, there is so much information out on the internet. Before you go and see your counselor, just print the letters that the various senators have written. The bill that was passed in Congress. Have a folder. When you go to their office, just hand that folder. These guys have 5 minutes to wait with you. What are you trying to explain to them about Ambazonia? You have all the graphic pictures. When you enter their office, hand the file to them. They will study it. They will go online. They even know. But if you come to them and start talking about Ambazonia, they have so many things. They will start asking, what is Ambazonia? Who is Ambazonia? So we always have to be prepared when we are going to face the elected officials. So again, brothers and sisters, like I said, I don't come here as a teacher. None of us went to school about this. But once you are faced with the challenges, you have to defend yourself. And my heart really goes out to our brothers and sisters on ground zero, because they are paying it with the ultimate price. But I feel terrible that we in the diaspora, we are like hunters in the bush. You have not even caught a catch, but you are already sharing what you have not caught. And then the enemy is taking the prize and running away with. So let us think positive. And if I were to give an advice, which I am not good at giving advice, I will just tell Ambazonians, if you are sitting behind your computer and writing something, think of one thing. Write as if that person that you are writing to, if he stands in front of you, you read to that person without fear. Because it is bad to send negative information out there. If we really adopt that spirit and say whatever you are writing, ask yourself, what I do or what I say, does it help the enemy or it helps advance our struggle closer to Boya? If you can justifiably answer this question and you are comfortable with it, then I think that God will lead us through. So I think we can open for discussion and questions, and I would like to throw questions to you. What have you done that to get to this point, and what are you doing to build? I know this is part of the building process which you have reached out. So thank you very much.
Yeah, to ask a question about what we have done, it is because of the number of Ambazonians here in Connecticut. The number is too small, and that is one of the reasons we decided to invite you to advise a small body like this to tell us how we can start to campaign for the liberation of Ambazonia. In fact, you have explained, you have done precisely what we invited you to come and do, and we appreciate it very much. There will be more questions, more elucidations from you as time goes on, as we keep on discussing. You can see we are just about 3 families here, and that's 4. So the ideas we have given, I'm sure we are going to make use of Mr. Secretary General. We are going to use those ideas to see how we can get involved in the activities of this state, in the activities of this city in particular, to see how we can voice out what is happening back home.
If I can answer that, I would say that you raised a very, very important point where we Ambazonians, we think that it will take a crowd to form a group. It takes one person. And if you look in history, whether be it a civil rights movement here, people like Martin Luther King, people did not even believe him. Gandhi, that's little tiny man who brought the British Empire out of India. People did not believe him. It takes one person who has a dream and who sticks by that dream, not being wavered by what others say, but listening to that little voice and and God who guides him. It takes one person to start the train, and you will believe with me that when this train is running, many people will jump on the train and take credits. Coming back to our own struggle, it didn't take the whole Ambazonian to start this struggle. It took just few. So you said 3 families. Those 3 families, I would think that those 3 families are many families. Once the dedication, the commitment is there, once those 3, even just 3 people, when you go out there to your church and talk to your pastor, let me tell you one thing. We did organize a fundraiser in Boston. They were all white churches. You had the Korean church in Burlington, the white church in Cambridge, East Boston, Lower Burlington. There were 7 churches. If you go online, one of my shows is there. We raised $5,000. These are not Cameroonians. That's the importance of reaching out and pulling in non-Cameroonians. These people are generous. And one more thing, you notice that there are many returned Peace Corps who could even be here. When you organize our traditional functions, these people are proud of our culture. They know we are a peace-loving, proud people. They will wear our traditional regalia. They want to identify with us. And make no mistake, these people too are our in-laws. They have grandchildren that are Ambazonians. This is a powerhouse that even the IG administration, they don't want to take advantage of it. I have talked for almost 2 years now that right now I think they are beginning to reach out to that constituent. You see, these people, they have the money. They are willing to support us depending on how we pull them in. They are already part of us. Our daughters are married to the whites. They're married to the Europeans, to the Chinese, to the Indians, you name it. Our sons are equally married on the other side. If the IG could take this and reach out to these people, organize something that they can come, you know that you are at stake because your children are equally involved. They are stuck here. They know better. And you believe with me that that's a good way to raise funds. They know within their community, they know how to do fundraising.
Mr. Fukiman, those of us in Connecticut, we have decided to join the struggle because La Republique has failed from the many call to find a lasting solution to this problem. So we have decided to join the struggle because of the killings equally, the havoc, the destruction, the burning down of houses, in fact, the calamity that they're causing back home. So we want to look for a way that we can compel them to stop the killings that is taking place there. But we have some of our brothers and sisters that we are trying to bring into the struggle, yet still they are just like drawing back. We have reached to them time and again and they don't want to join us. You know, they say, even though we say we don't need numbers, just a handful can do something. But yet, we still need people. We need people to join us so that we can push, our public. We'll make some of these statements, like the Congress people you are talking about, the senators, I'll make them in order to say, I'll apply to them. We still need those our brothers and sisters that are still dragging behind to join us so that we can go there and then we make our apply to them. Now that they are dragging behind, what advice do you give us that we can reach back to them so that they can join us in this struggle?
I think that's a very, very important question. I will ask one thing. Can you tell someone to mourn their mother or their father who passes away? If there are 2 children, to come in, the other one is crying and beating himself, screaming. The other one is sitting and not saying anything. Do you think that the one who is not saying anything is not mourning?
Not necessarily.
So mourn your own way, do what you can do in your own way, and let that other person mourn his own way. Don't try to convince that person. Okay? Because if you see in Lowell, when you hear Lowell and Boston, I am not proud. But to be proud is because you have done something good. What happens about Boston? Boston, ask what Boston has done. I live in Lowell. I was the one who brought President Sisiko to the city hall. I was the one who introduced him to the mayor, the city manager, and the commissioner of police. I was the one who organized for the TV show in Lowell. I was the one who organized the town hall. October 2nd, Boston is the only city that raised the Ambazonian flag at the city hall for one week. I was the one who filed that application. Is that a crowd? Does the whole of Boston not share in that? I'm speaking in front to the world. If there's anyone in Boston who knew how to get the application, even the proclamation, one of the Boston chairperson then took the proclamation from City Hall. He's walking around and bragging with it that this is what it is. I don't even have it. Lowell is the only city in this struggle for 50 years that the city council has voted unanimously to recognize Ambazonia. Name me one city for the 50 years of existence. So what you can do as an individual, what you can convince your locals here about Cameroon is more than what the crowd can do. Bamenda has a sister city relationship with Lowell. That started almost 20 years ago. Those were the seeds that were sown. The people did not know what we were going forward to. And it was a transatlantic relationship. A copy of it is at the mayor's office, and I actually initiated the mayor of Lowell, communicated with the governor and the government delegate in Bamenda. That was one person's effort. So it doesn't take a crowd. If you are passionate about Ambazonia, ask yourself not what Ambazonia has done for you. Ask yourself, what is it in your own little corner here in Connecticut? If you convince 2 white people they know about Ambazonia and show them those pictures, they will cry, they will accompany you, they can take you to the newspaper, to the news maker. They can write an article. That starts by your personal connection to that individual. So I am not a fan of the crowd. The crowd follows success. So all I can tell you is this little meeting that we are holding here, I hope that people watching this in Europe, in China, in India, in Latin America, all over the world, know that when you sow the seed, I grew up in a culture and in a family that said the ground cannot deceive you. You plant a seed and it blossoms, you harvest food. In your little room, you sow that seed. And when you are throwing a stone, don't look where that stone is going to fall. That's the thing with us. We are quick at harvesting where we never sow. Can you think of any revolution that has accomplished what we have accomplished in 3 years? I think that sometimes we are Ambazonian, we are not also appreciative and gracious. But it pains me so much that the white people who encourages me in this struggle. They say, Fu, we listen. Your people as your worst enemy. You are very negative. Just tell me how someone can put his reputation on the line to follow you when tomorrow they don't see that you are united.
That raises my questions. Back to the issue of fundraising. I can say we are not progressing because of issues within management of funds. We have different groups, and especially here in our own community, we are from different religions, and sometimes we might have events or where we can pledge for funds, and not that we've done it before, but I'm just trying to give a more clearer picture based on what is happening within other frontline movements. If you see what the IG and many other groups, everywhere people are criticizing embezzlement, funds are not appropriate, though we have a functioning body, which is the county. But here in Connecticut, as I said, we are from different areas, and if at all we manage to raise funds, how can we sustain those funds to our various LGAs back home? Or secondly, how can we really do to keep this little body, this movement afloat? Or is it we can organize or make a big bank account to store funds? Or what can you really advise us in terms of going out, soliciting funds, and donating, and maybe organizing events?
Well, you know, I cannot come to your house and tell you how to run your house. Yes, I know, yes. I know, and it's very good. But what I resent is the negativity out there. This person has embezzled this person has embezzled this. And the people who are fanning those theories, some of them you ask, how much have you contributed? For me, I always say, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. I don't want to wear that crown. And the thing that I say is what the white guys. This guy, that show, this guy dedicates 1 hour to talk about Ambazonia. La République has called him from Cameroon and called him a terrorist, right? At 1 a.m. I said, John, if they are calling, it's because of you are doing something good. So they tell me that, you know, you are very, very negative. And in the middle of a struggle, you are talking about changing leadership. We read this. There is no person or no government that can really stand with you if you cannot stand with whoever is your leader. That a leader is only as good as those who support him. If you have vultures around you, all they would do is they would bring you down. And that is what is killing our struggle. It must be me on that chair. It must be someone from my area on that chair. And forgetting that we are still in the bush. We have not caught any prey. We are already dividing it. And we may end up dividing when La République is taking the land. And we will stand up, we will be lost in the wilderness, trying to carry titles and running around with it. So to answer your question about the financial thing, I would say that, you know what, if you can pull some of these white people in our middle. What I have learned is that even in Boston, wherever, when I want to invite the white people in our meetings, oh, let's organize ourselves, let's adjust, let's do this. What does that mean? It means from the very beginning, we are not serious. Let him, and those people who are saying that these are some people who have given a false impression that they are this. They don't want these guys to come and see their mess. So if you, in your meetings, invite this guy, this is their community. Right? This is their community. They will, when once you are giving funds and you can account for those funds, there's a little bit of transparency. That money is there. That money can easily, you don't